Feeling low.
Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here over the Part-Time Entrepreneur. And for the next year to 18 months, we're going to run this series called Flipit. Now this is going to be pretty fun, it's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to help people just understand a few concepts around investing. So trying to make it a little bit more fun. Generally, you know, my stuff's a little bit more hardcore, go into a 17 to 15 minute in-depth review of a coin or an ICO, which are good. I do enjoy that, don't get me wrong, but I think there's a little bit of fun side that we can have with this. So a lot of people have been following me just because I've had a great ICO track record in terms of calling different coins and projects, and also obviously my coin calls that I do every single month. You know, there's not one month where I've been down. Even when the market has gone pants, I've still been able to make incredible amounts of money. And hopefully I know that other people have, because they've inboxed me, and I really do appreciate that when you guys tell me about, you know, the changes and the difference that makes to you and your life as well. It's really cool. So you can see my ICO track record. This is just a few, there's loads. Utrust, Hood, and Substratum. Now I didn't invest massive amounts of money into these guys. However, I did make 250,000 US dollars out of it, which is pretty cool. Now that's a lot of money for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, even if you're a big YouTube star and all the rest of it. That is a lot of money. Now the thing for me is that I'm just a normal guy. I love investing. It's a very big hobby, very much an entrepreneur, always doing little businesses and stuff. And really I run this channel to try and help other people to bring out that entrepreneurial flair. And I actually come across something. I see loads of people say, you know, even I've looked at it and I did a video on, you know, how potentially you could make £1 million and all this business. But as you go through this journey, you learn just loads of new things. So I asked myself the question, would you rather have $1 million today or a penny that doubles for every 30 days? Now most people know the answer to this, and if you haven't heard about this, then it's something called compounding. And that's really critical when you talk about investments. Now we're going to have Tony Robbins explain to us, what is compounding?
So if I said to you, let's go play golf, and by the way, I'm a terrible golfer, I never play, and truthfully I only play like 6, 8 holes. I just go out for some fun a little bit with my wife and friends. And as we're walking along, I tell you that, but as we get up to the first hole, I say, you know, just to make it a little more interesting, why don't we bet a dime a hole? Just so there's something on the line. Now, most people are going to go, no problem. You're not going to go, you know, is he a shark? Is he setting me up? 10 cents a hole. How many holes are there? 18 holes. How much I got at risk? $1.80, right? Okay, not a big deal. And then I'm just about to get up there and hit the first ball, and I say, you know, just to make it a little more interesting, why don't we just double it each hole? So what would that be? First hole is 10 cents, so the second hole is 20 cents. Third hole would be 40 cents. Fourth hole is going to be 80 cents. Fifth hole is going to be $1.60. Sixth hole is going to be $3.20. Now stop. How many holes are there? 18. So we're 1/3 the way through, and it's $3.20. So in your head, you say, wow, what, you know, so what might cost me 10, 12, 15 bucks if I lose? No big deal. But if we continue the math, what happens? Let's take it out to 9 holes and see what is 9 holes. You get out to 9 holes and you go, wow, I wasn't expecting $25, but we're only halfway there. Go ahead, flip the balance. 11, 12. Now look what happens here. We get to the 13th hole, $409. We went from down here 25 bucks. 4 holes later, we're at 409. How do we go from 25 to 400 in 4 holes? Power of compounding. Watch what happens these last holes. 14th hole, 15th hole, 16th, 17th, 18th hole, $13,107. Okay? So if you're a good golfer, this is what you'll go do next week when you get home, right?
I love a bit of Tony Robbins. I follow him all around the world and stuff. No, don't stalk him or nothing. Just go to his events. But you can see the power of compounding. It is the #1 thing in investments. Now you can see here, if you started with $1,000, went into 3 ICOs, and you 3-folded your money plus your original investment, and you went back in 3 times, you'd have $48,000. So that's $47,000 profit. So when people start talking about, you know, I see a couple of people bigging it up on like how much they've made and all the rest of it. And you know, people do that because you get excited, and this it's nice, isn't it, to make some money out of this. But it really is the compounding is the key factor with all of investments. Doesn't matter if you're on the stock market, doesn't matter if you're cryptocurrency, flipping houses, doesn't matter. The same concept still applies. So why not apply it to cryptocurrency and start a little project where let's flip it. So what I've done here is I'm going to create 3 different pots. One is a large one. We're going to start with $5,000 in that one. Then a medium one, which will be $1,000. And then a smaller pot, which will be $100. And we're going to invest tenfold. Who let that shit gag in, eh? Tenfold each investment. So on the large one, we're going to go 5,000. We're going to invest 10 times. Exactly the same on medium and small. Just to visualize this a little bit better, because I'm very visual, so I like to show these things. Created a little table just so it sort of articulates it as best as possible. The first, obviously the top pot, that's the biggest one with 5,000. If you work on an average multiplier of 3, so every time it goes up threefold, you sell 50%, and you do that 10 times, you'll get 1.29 million back. Now obviously that does not account for what the fluctuation would be of the currency that you're still holding. So these are real base numbers. Now if you start with $1,000, do exactly the same process. It's 259k, and if you start with $100, you can get up to 25.9k. Now this isn't an exact science. Yeah, you're going to have some that will just they'll launch and it will go tenfold. You can't control it. That's just how it is. Some will even go down. So we need to factor all these. And that's why I came up with the number 3, because when I statistically worked a lot of things out, 3.2 was the number that came up. Obviously, hedge your bets, all the rest of it. And that's how I came up with the number 3. Hopefully, I've made that really clear and simple. So you can see, without the bullshit, without all the fluff and the faff and all the rest of it, that just based on some simple maths, that with a small amount of investment, you can actually make quite a lot of money. And if you make the right moves and you're disciplined in how you do it, then it is completely possible. But obviously a lot of that stuff will come down to you, because the hardest thing for most people is they'll see things go up like tenfold. They're like, oh, it's going to go 20-fold. Everyone on Facebook, FOMO, and then it drops to 5-fold, and then you've just lost a whole bunch of your investment. So you need to be very disciplined with this. And that's probably my biggest bit of feedback to anybody that wants to sort of get involved with Flipit. And I'd love to hear from people over the next year, 18 months of, if you made money from this, how much did you make? How did it change your life and stuff? Because that's cool stuff, man. Stuff that money can't buy. So if you want to get involved with this and Flipit over the next year to 18 months, then you can follow me at jamesbull_UK and at Crypto Rookies too. And that's on Twitter and Instagram. So this is going to be really exciting if we can make £1 million from 10 simple buy and sells of ICOs. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next video.